Okay, 7th grade lesson 5.1, we're talking about percent increase and decrease. So I'm going to do 3 examples in this video. Number 1, I want the percent increase from $5 to $8. Find the percent increase, round to the nearest percent. Okay, so first I need to know that the percent change is equal to the amount of change divided by the original amount. Okay, so to find the amount of change, I always take the greater value and then subtract the lesser value. The amount of change equals the greater value minus the lesser value. So here I'm going from $5 to $8. $8 is the greater value. I'm going to subtract the lesser value, which is 5. So my numerator, the amount of change, is 8 minus 5. I'm going to divide that by the original amount. The original amount is 5 because the price started at $5. So 8 minus 5 divided by 5. Okay, that's equal to 8 minus 5 is 3. My denominator stays 5. Okay, so now if I divide 3 by 5, I'm going to get 0.6. But since I'm talking about a percentage, I need to multiply this by 100 since percent is always out of 100. So I have 0.6 times 100, which is equal to 60%. Okay, so what's the amount of change? It's a 60% increase, right? Obviously, it's an increase because I'm going from $5 to $8, so I'm going up. So that's a 60% increase. Example number 2, I'm going from $80 to $64. So obviously, I'm finding the percent decrease since my amount is going down. So I'm going to use this equation still. Right, percent change equals the amount of change divided by the original amount. So let's find the amount of change. I take the greater value, 80, and subtract the lesser value, which is 64. That's my numerator. The denominator is the original amount. The original amount is 80, so that goes on bottom. Okay, so 80 minus 64, that gives me 16 in the numerator. I divide by the original amount. 16 divided by 80 will give me 0.2. And again, I multiply by 100 since I want the percent decrease. Percent's out of 100, so I multiply by 100. 0.2 times 100 is 20. And this is percent, and it's decrease because the amount is going down. Okay, so from $80 to $64 is a 20% decrease. Finally, example number 3 says find the new amount given the original amount and the percent of change. So right here is my original amount, this is my percent of change, and I want the new amount. Okay, so there are 2 steps here. Step 1, find the amount of change. Find the amount of change. Okay, so I'm still using this equation right here. Percent change equals amount of change divided by original amount. So far, I've been given 2 of those 3 things. Like in numbers 1 and 2, I've been given the amount of change and the original amount. But I've not been given this. That's what I've tried to find in numbers 1 and 2. And number 3, they give me the percent of change and the original amount. So they give me percent of change and original amount, and I'm looking for the amount of change so that I can find the new amount. Okay, so step 1, find the amount of change. So I plug in what I know. I know percent change. Percent change is 10%, and percent change is equal to the amount of change, which I don't know. That's what I'm trying to find. So I'm just going to write amount of change divided by the original amount. Amount of change divided by the original amount. I know the original amount is $9. That's what they told me. So I'm going to put 9 on the bottom. Okay. So now to solve for the amount of change, I need to get the amount of change by itself. And so since I am taking the amount of change and dividing by 9, to get the amount of change by itself, I do the inverse operation of division, which is multiplication. So I need to multiply both sides of the equation by 9. So that these 9s will cancel, right? Because 9 divided by 9 is 1. So what I'm left with is that the amount of change is equal to, the amount of change is equal to 9 times 10%. So 9 times, you need to write 10% as a decimal, otherwise you won't be able to calculate it. So 9 times 10%, 10% is 0.1. That's 10% in decimal form. Okay, so I have 9 times 0.1. 9 times 0.1 gives me 0.9. Now in terms of money, this is 0.90, right? That's 90 cents. So my amount of change is 90 cents. Okay, so again, the question asks me, what is the new amount? It doesn't ask me for the amount of change, but I need the amount of change to find the new amount. So once I have step 1 found the new amount, I then step 2, find new amount. I need to find the new amount. To do that, I take the original amount plus amount of change, and that will give me the new amount. So what's my original amount? Well, my original amount was $9, plus my amount of change I just found is 90 cents, which is a 10% increase on the price. So $9 plus 90 cents equals $9.90. Okay, so if I have a product that's $9 and it has a 10% increase, that means now it costs $9.90.